So this video is for people that have already been doing their topical authority. Maybe you've already even been doing your link building side of stuff, but you're still not seeing your results. So by the books, you've already done everything you feel like, and maybe you're already ranking position 10, 15, 20. You're just not in the top 3 spots yet. So this is going to cover what I feel like might be one of the biggest issues that I see on consultancy calls, and when people like say to me like, hey, can you just do a quick audit on my website? This is probably the number one biggest outlying issue that we're going to cover in today's video. It shouldn't even take me that long to go over, and you only need one tool to actually do this. But very quickly, if you guys haven't, check out the Masterminders. There's a in-person SEO conference that's happening on the 27th of June in Manchester. You've got the likes of Craig Campbell speaking, Lara Costa, James Dooley, Carrie Rose, and many, many more speaking as well. So if you haven't already, grab your tickets while you can. And yeah, let's get into the video. So first of all, I'm obviously going to need to find a website that is suffering from this. So I'm just going to find the website very quickly, and I'll show you guys step by step how to do this. Right, so all I've done is I have found a website that's ranking not terribly bad. Obviously, it's nowhere near the money-making spot. They are position 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they are position 26. We are on page 3, so 26. Page 3 of Google, position 26. There we go. And as we can see here, they've got a page here, and obviously the content on this page could definitely be improved. Now, we're not going to necessarily take a look at the content today because I've done tons of videos on how to improve your content and what to look out for and stuff like that. But let's say in this scenario, right, this website has got perfect content, and I know like I could probably go through a load of different other pages or actual sites here that do have way better content than these guys and are ranking at a much lower position. Like if we open up like page 4, for example, and take a look at hoganlovels.com, right? The content on this page, again, it's not terrible. It's not great, but it's not terrible, right? But in this case, let's just pretend for a second that this content is SEO optimized. It is for Google. Google understands it. You've got all the subheadings, you've got all the questions, stuff like that. What we then want to do, right, is just copy this website and go over to Screaming Frog. Now, I've already done this, but if you basically have never used Screaming Frog, I believe it is free for the first 500 URLs. But this is what it looks like once it does open. There we go. It does look like a little bit of an ugly tool, but I'll show you guys how to actually process the information that it spits out at you, because I do understand that in some cases it can be very daunting looking at this tool, especially if you've never used it before. But as you can see here, right, this is basically crawling the entire website, and it's giving us a load of information like how many pages are on the website, are the pages indexable by Google, what the status code is. It just tells you all of that information, and it can be a little bit of a cluster if you have never used it before. But all I'm going to do is I'm just going to pause the video for just a second, and we're going to come back to the video once it's finished crawling. You'll be able to see once it has finished crawling, and I believe the free version of this tool will allow for 500 URLs. So as long as your website isn't more than 500 pages, you should be fine. Otherwise, I think you need to pay like $60, $70, which I highly recommend doing, because it's kind of like the Swiss Army knife when it comes to running audits and analyzing your website. Also, I may have said $50 a month. I believe it's like $70 for the entire year, just as a side note. So if we actually take a look here, it's actually finished the crawl on Screaming Frog. Now, there's a couple filters that we're going to actually apply, so it's just a little bit easier to actually look at the data, right? So by default on Screaming Frog, if you click on the left-hand side here, what you want to do is just select HTML. So it's only going to show the HTML pages that are readable and accessible by Google, right? And as you can see here, we've got our page that is the New York lawyer page that we were just looking at before. If I actually just open this on my browser section here, as you can see, this is the page that we're looking at, the one that's not ranking high enough. And if we take a look here at unique inlinks, now I do have my columns set up slightly a little bit different. But if we take a look, in your case, you might just need to like scroll over to the right hand side over here, right? But in my instance, I've actually got it pulled all the way over to the left. And this basically tells us how many internal links this page actually has going through to it. Now, as a rule of thumb, the more unique inlinks that your page actually has, you're telling Google like, hey, this page is really important to me. You need to be basically visiting this page more. You need to be giving this page more internal link equity as well. So, for example, right, in this case, we've got pages that are 31 or they have 31 unique inlinks. This page here, which is like a pretty reasonably important page for us, it actually has 21 unique inlinks, which tells me straight from the word go that we need more internal links being built through to this page. Now you can also take a look at like the word count of a page as well. So in this case, 1002 words, it might be a little bit slim for this style of page. So in that case, I would actually maybe give it to my content writer to rewrite that page as well. Also, another thing to bear in mind that this tool does really well is that it will tell you where your internal links are actually coming from. So if I actually just click onto the page that we're analyzing, right, we can click on inlinks down below and it will tell us which pages we are getting our internal links from. So if I was to click or go to this page here, for example, and it will also tell us the anchor that it's also using as well. So like it's just using the anchor New York. So what an anchor looks like is this basically. So on the sidebar. Now what we would actually want to do when we're trying to increase our amount of unique inlinks is you want to include the internal link throughout your actual content. And what I mean by that is navbar links, so links that are within your navigation bar at the top, links that are in your sidebar, and links that are in your footer, for example. Those are always links that are given less of an actual page rank value. Whereas if we were to actually include a link like this here, like learn about more rankings here. So if this said, for example, New York lawyers, and it was going through to our New York lawyers page, because this is deemed as being main body content, Google will actually pass more internal link power through to our New York page. So that's one thing that I would be looking at doing. Also analyze where your unique inlinks are coming from at the minute as well. So if we take a look at this page here, so as you can see here, can I zoom in? I can't actually zoom in, but it tells us on the left hand side from, so which pages are linking to our New York page. So in this case, we've got a lot of actual duplicates. It's actually probably not as many internal links as we actually think, because if we take a look here, right, we actually have got, oh, where's that actually gone? There we go. So if we take a look, as you can see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We've got about 10 links pointing from the exact same page. We want as many different blog articles, as many different service pages that obviously makes sense pointing through to our New York page. So obviously analyze to see if it makes sense, keep that internal link. If it doesn't, you might want to actually remove that internal link and link from a more relevant page. But that's basically what a good internal linking structure should look like. I'll also show you guys one website that's doing very well when it comes to their internal linking strategy. So this is a blog section of an e-commerce store that's doing really well, and this is like one of their blogs on how to refill a vape kit, right? Now in this case, this page probably doesn't actually earn them that much money, But what they have been able to do is strategically internal link to, for example, their new vape kit page. And in this case, they do actually earn money from actually internal linking and trying to rank this page. And this is the similar thought process that you should have to your website. Like, for example, if you're a lawyer, right? If you've got an article on how much does a divorce cost, right? Let's try and find an actual law firm. So these guys, right? Cost of a divorce in UK. Now, this article should internally link to their divorce attorney or divorce solicitor's page, which they actually have done. They're actually internally linking to their homepage. So that's how you should be structuring your internal links and making the most out of your internal linking strategy. But obviously, don't just go in blind. Use a tool like Screaming Frog. Analyze where your internal links are currently coming from and where they should be going to as well. So that's been this video on internal linking and also how to obviously maximize your on-page SEO. If you guys have enjoyed this video, please remember to leave a like. And if you want a strategy call with myself on how to improve your SEO, check out casualdash.com, fill it in the contact form, and I will be in touch. Thank you for watching.